fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. Our gospel lesson this morning comes from John chapter 13, verses 33 through 35. Little children, I am with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the Jews, now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. This is the gospel of our Lord. We are to serve as Christ did.
Lord, teach us to serve.
That's not supposed to happen. Okay. Forgive me. Oh man. You know, can't prepare for these things. So, we've been in the midst of this season of creation, and this week we focus on humanity. And as I thought about the topic of humanity, I started to think, man, we are a messy bunch of people, right? In messy times, and life is messy and complicated. And I started to think about moms and new babies and new life. Moms carried us in their wombs for 9 months of development, through pain and bodies shifting and bloating and discomfort, and finally, after 9 months, women experience those birth pangs and give birth to a precious new baby girl or boy, for people to come and to say, oh, she's beautiful, she looks just like her father. There's a lot of pain, right, for women in life. And it feels like there's a lot of pain for women right now. And you know, it is a tough thing to talk about. You know, we've been living through this Me Too movement, which is sort of like a Christian movement. And a pastor and a preacher wonders, now what am I going to say about that? I get magazines with articles about preaching. And I read letters to editors of Christianity Today, and all of these preachers, leaders in preaching say, you have to speak to what's happening in the world. You have to speak to what's happening in the world, and you have to be a prophet in the world, in the pulpit. You have to comfort the afflicted, and you have to afflict the comfortable. I don't know about that. And as most people who seek out self-help and professional development, we kind of keep reading, right, until we find something that tells us something like what we already thought to begin with, right? You know, you poll your friends until the one who supports your ideas reveals themselves. I can be a little bit like that. Because I did come upon an article that said, yeah, we are called to speak truth to power, the truth of Jesus to power. And yet this one writer said, you better know your people. You better know your people. You better know who sits in the pews, and you better understand where their hearts live. And you have to understand how they were raised, and you have to understand who they listen to, and you have to understand that it is a messy, messy road, right? Complicated and complex. And then, of course, his conclusion is know your people and preach the gospel. So I said to Rob yesterday as I was reading through this article, I said, I have to just preach the gospel. And he said, well, I don't mind, honey. Which gospel are you going to preach? And I said, that's right. You know, as I get ready to speak in 2 weeks on a lot of the issues that the denomination and the world is facing around issues of human sexuality and how they're handled in Scripture, as I'm preparing for that, a big part of that is preparing to speak to how we read the Bible. Not about isolated passages, but about how we read it in its whole. Is it a rule book or is it a tool book? Is it a letter of wrath or is it a letter of love? And so, as I thought about what gospel am I going to preach, I knew that I wasn't going to go to 1 Corinthians and read about women being silenced. Because, you know, we could do that and we could justify silencing of women in the church and outside. We could justify not hearing our shared stories of where we've been or what we've been through. We could use the Bible to justify those things if we're not careful with the Bible. We don't want to just pull out texts to justify our dominion over anyone or anything, because that happens too with that text from creation. We kind of realize that maybe we've misused some of God's resources in thinking that it's all about us as humans. And so we have to be careful with the text. And so as I think about which gospel, I think, well, I might not want to universalize Paul's letters that were written to a particular community in a particular time. But I might want to think about the theologians who talk about Jesus always preferring the poor, the outcast, the marginalized, the sinners, the dirty, and the unclean. We might want to recognize those theologians who realize that if you read Jesus' opening manifesto, that Jesus preferred the least of these to the church people. Okay, church people? That's your mission, to get out there and go to the margins. Go to the people who are not feeling heard. Go to the people who are living on the other side of the tracks. Go to the people who are perceived as dirty, unclean, poor, lonely, because people didn't like them very much. And so how we read the Bible, how we realize what Jesus did, what Jesus taught, and how he lived, helps us to understand which gospel we're preaching. The gospel that is good news for all people. In the Hebrew Bible, the people of Israel are called to be a light to all the nations. World Communion Sunday. We realize that Abraham in Genesis 9 and 12 is blessed to become a blessing to all people. And then he gives birth to Judaism and the inheritors of Islam. And we wonder, what are we going to do with this? And which good news are we going to preach? The one that is all-inclusive and loves all people and wants to hear and validate all people? Or do we want to pick out a couple of texts that want to keep women quiet or exclude people because they're a little different? Or a lot different. I believe that we are called to love as Jesus loved, to teach as Jesus taught, to remember that Jesus ate with sinners, broke bread with them, touched the bleeding, who were also excluded, lived there at those tables with his heart-shaped sunglasses, to hear the stories of each and every one. And so as we think about the creation narrative and being created in God's image, it makes sense then that we would turn to the one we know as God's Son for clues, traits, characteristics, call, a message of love for all. You know, it's probably true that we're born and we look a little bit like Mommy, and we look a little bit like Daddy. But do we look like God? And what would it look like if we did? What would it look like if we decided today to take on one quality of Jesus and incorporate that into our spiritual discipline over the course of the next few weeks? Come on October 20th and be a part of listening to stories and hearing about new ways of Bible study that speak to the marrow of the text, so we can get a very clear vision about what it looks like to be created in the image of God. Fully human, fully divine, on this World Communion Sunday, made in the image of God.